1, 7, 2, 5, 8, 7. No, 6. 7. So, 1, 7, 2, 5, 8, 10.
No, I think.
Welcome to my channel, 12 Wells. Let me see if I can get my clothes out of the cleaners. He said, come after 4. Makes no sense. Good morning. Pick up. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can get it tomorrow. Okay. Makes no sense. Only in this neighborhood. See, that's another thing about the hood. It never makes sense. You always got to do stuff in advance in the hood. You got to have it, or you don't need it. I was looking at thank you. He said he likes my shirt, the Boogie Down Bronx. He must be from the Bronx. Let me tell you something. I'm looking for the Staten Island shirt. If I get a Staten Island shirt, I would have gotten all in every borough shirt. I don't know why it's got to be so hard to get a Staten Island shirt, but when it comes to the library cards, okay, maybe it's time for me to walk this way. Let me call down my money. Money come at me now and Jesus. Money come at me now and money coming at me now in the name of Jesus, from the north, south, east, and west. Ah. Feeling kind of hot. Hi guys, how are you? No work today? So I haven't been able to secure employment since the pandemic. So I don't have a job, but I volunteer. And I was looking at this content creator named Culture Invasion Podcast. Came on last night, and first part of the segment of the show, he was talking about a character from a movie that I could definitely find parallels with me that I feel makes sense, right? So one of the things was, he was saying that this character had actually lost his job, but he still dressed up every day like he had a job. And would drive with his work clothes on to the city, right? Like he's working, but he didn't actually, he had lost his job. And he had lost his family too. But he would still buy gifts for his daughter, like as if he's going to get them to him. Hey, Proud. Buenos dias. You know, over here when I go to What I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell Proud something. Proud Miss Child. The sound of the guy taking the wheel off the truck threw me off. I don't even know what I was thinking no more. Okay, buenos dias. Good morning. Un nuevo dia. Good morning on the new day. That what you say? What's it called? That's a lie. You really just said you can't find a job in 5 years. No restaurant, gas station, hotel, sales job, not even one in 5 years. Don't use that lame black person excuse. Still blaming the. I don't have to make a lame excuse. Not at all. We can't open a door that's not meant to be open. Like this door doesn't even have handles. So that means, yes, good morning, it's a new day. Okay. No, nueva. I knew nueva is new. I knew dia is day. Says there's no work 5 years. Wow. You know what's wild, but it's a blessing, is that I've been able to maintain. That's what's wild. I find it amazing. I just thank God. I find that amazing. People always say it's no secret to making money. It's not about making money. It's about keeping up some unrealistic, superficial, and artificial facade. And that's what I was talking about this movie. Hey, Underrated Darkness. Vasquez Girly. Have an awesome day. Bless your heart. Thank you. Underrated said put God first. Yes, hallelujah. God will take care of you. I believe in miracles. I believe in the supernatural. So, in the movie that Culture Invasion Podcast was highlighting, the guy was maneuvering daily with a facade that he was maintaining something that he no longer has. And I know exactly how that is, because when you're out of the workforce, people that are working experience things that only people that are employed get to experience. And so when you're out of the workforce and you're not utilizing whatever those people that work do, like direct deposit and all of these things that all the agencies sync with doing, and then you not a part of it, you just have a natural block. You get blocked out of stuff just because you're not in the workforce. And they don't have to ask you, they don't have to talk to you. It's work. People in the workforce are doing things that people that are not in the workforce don't do. And I just thought it was interesting because I remember I used to get dressed up before I started volunteering daily. I used to get dressed up and go to Midtown. I would get dressed up like I'm going to work, and I would go to Bryant Park. That's like 42nd Street and Avenue of Americas. And I'm in the hustle and bustle of the rush hour, but the difference would be that I didn't have a office to go to, right? So we would always get to a point where they would go to their jobs and I would just be left outside. And I used to, think that was interesting. I would monitor and notice that how you only can pretend for people who are not actually with you or know you. Like if they know you, they know you're not going to work. Only a person that is looking at you and don't follow you, they don't really, that they would think. So only a person that's creating these unrealistic assumptions about you does that work for? But if a person's actually knowing you, they know that you're actually not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting to me. Like there's people that know that you're just doing stuff and they might think it's weird. Hey, Elevate with Vern, how are you? I'm going amongst green, your favorite color. How you doing? Proud says, whatever happened with the Zoom workshop 12, you not doing it anymore? Yeah, I learned how to use Zoom. The Zoom workshop was just to train you on how to use it. So I learned how to use Zoom. But that wasn't for a job. That was just to teach you how to use that. Because everything during the pandemic was on Zoom. So all the meetings was on Zoom. And I didn't know how to use it. I was doing the dial-in. But the dial-in wasn't good enough because they were sharing documents, and on the dial-in you can't see the documents as being shared. You can't really, it's really not created for dial-in. It's created for visual community, you know? So I had to learn how to use Zoom so then I could see the presentations that they were doing and everything. Like on the phone, you don't know that they're doing a whole presentation. Zoom is very interesting. And I'm happy I took the training so I could learn it. And there's still Zoom meetings going on, but I'm not a part of it. I'm not a part of those. I'm with almost like senior I'm almost with a dominantly senior populated focus department where I'm volunteering, and those people that I'm with have no interest in doing anything outside of being on the phone. So that's why I get to do phone work. They don't want to send emails. They don't want to go on the computer at all. They want you to mail them physical papers. They want to fax. We don't do, I mean, so many places I've been to have long stopped having faxes. Like, I don't even know where you go to have a fax, and I don't fax. There's like no reason for me to fax. But that's what was going on in the that's what goes on when you're out of the workforce. So when you're out of the workforce, you stop doing whatever is currently trending. You ever consider doing a podcast? Podcast with like who? Are you thinking about? Proud, tell me. I was invited to do a podcast like 3-4 times, but it was basically all males, and I would be the only female. And almost everybody that asked me, I didn't know. Like, I was like, why are you coming up to me asking me? So there was no level of trust. And I questioned their invitation, right? Because I'm like, no, what's going on? Like, why me? Dill's department store is hiring. Yeah, that's great, but I have put in applications, and I'm on Indeed, and it doesn't go anywhere. But thank you for telling me. So Deed's department store somewhere. I mean, I don't know if you're in New York. I'm in New York. And I don't even know where Dill's is here. I don't think we have a Dill's here. I don't think we have a Dill's here. So, and if you notice, the more gentrification your neighborhood experiences, the more they get rid of like stores that are giving items that are very inexpensive. They just take it out. Like I had a huge 99 like cent store, and they got rid of it. It's not there no more. Like that, you gotta like. I could do a video on that, showing y'all how in the ghetto. Hey, DJ Jordan, you exercising? I'm in New York, close to you. Oh yeah, hi Yvonne, Glendora. Welcome in. I like seeing new people. Topics about everything going on in the world today and what's going on with your community in New York. So you're saying like me making a podcast? You would be great for Five Below 12. Natty Slim. I'm not new. Oh, you changed your channel name. Hi Natty. I'm about to just wanted to speak before I start. Thank you, the J Jordan. I'm so happy to see you up because I know you was in the chair a lot. So when I saw you up, I wasn't sure if you was just doing it for a short term period. But I see now you're doing more videos, not in the chair. That makes me so proud and happy. Because I was so concerned. I was praying for you. I was so concerned if you was in a lot of pain. You know, I was wondering if you was in pain. So I was praying for you not to be in pain. They renovated this park. It's beautiful. I love it. It's the green I was talking about for Vern. Vern loves green. Elevate with Vern. Elevate Vern was going. She went on the cruise. I love it. I see people doing new stuff. I love it. Your podcast? I think I will have to look into it again because I think I had did a couple podcasts. I deleted them all. Now let me think about why do I be deleting stuff? I think I'll be deleting stuff because the guys I'll be interviewing who's in another state that I don't be thinking I'm ever going to see obviously has the budget to come to New York. They be trying to come over. I'll be like, no. What's going on? No. Stop. Beautiful. Look how they redesigned. Right here is gorgeous. I love it. I love it. You are aware of what's going on around you, so you could definitely host a podcast and cover topics or have a series of guests and get their perspectives on what the topic is at hand. Oh, my son is good. Thank you. We both volunteer. I keep him busy. We both know how it comes. I was fighting. Oh, he's playing music. He's playing live music. Oh, he's playing a guitar. Let me put him on tape for y'all. I love the music. Live music. Isn't that something? Early in the morning. I guess he happy. What? Amazing. So yeah, now Proud is reminding me. So I did some videos covering some of the protests and stuff around the area and stuff, and I had backlash. So when I was dealing with the case about the young man who had got unalived by all those police officers, I was asked to back off for that. That's the Robert Brooks case. I was asked to let that go. I asked in a threatening way. That's why I back off of some political stuff because people are crazy. I don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be bothered. Some people, they just don't want an opposing word out. They don't care if you're not a viral channel. What they care about is that you have views at all. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't realize that. Some people get views at all. Like nobody's over checking out their channel. But then some people, their channel is being checked out and they don't like it. They don't want one person to be listening to you. And I backed off and I still didn't get, it was already too late. We live in an MVM and society, that's why it's in the condition it's in. I get some backlash from making one of my videos. I was scared. Yeah, they do little, I have been, you know, when I was in, this is how they do stuff, subtle, right? So when I was in the community real heavy, dealing with some infrastructure changes in that neighborhood, they invited me to a meeting, me alone, to this meeting where all these politicians was at. You know, it was a closed door meeting that was it was weird. Okay, so now I don't really do meetings alone. You ask me to do a meeting or something, I'm bringing somebody. If you don't want me to come with somebody, then I'm not coming. I don't go to meetings alone no more. And I gotta pick the person. You'll say, oh, you don't have to. Okay, you can come with. No, you don't tell me who I can bring. I'm bringing who I'm comfortable with. Okay. I come to the house meeting. Got a lot of meetings in people's houses. I gotta come with who I'm comfortable with. I got tricked up, I guess last year or whatever. Do I want to go this way? I think I want to go this way. Let me go. So I got tricked up because I was invited to this like art gallery. I thought it was official. It was somebody's house, but I didn't know that. And yes, they had artwork up on the walls. Okay, I was invited. It had a flyer and everything, but it was a person's house. They operated from the house. I stopped doing house parties after this politician told me, when I send you an invitation, it's just for you alone. When they had a whole house full of people, whole house full of politicians. Why I gotta be by myself? And that person was murdered. I know people that's been murdered. So, okay, I was trying to be real low key about my advocacy with this infrastructure thing that was going on. And this woman that looked homeless just came up to me on the street and told me that they found her son in the river with like rocks tied to his feet so he could stay down. And that's a subtle threat. You understand? That I listen to. So when the door opened for me to get out of Brooklyn and come out, I left.
It's a problem.
Because people was being really crazy. They was being really crazy. And then I met this woman. She said similar thing. She from Queens. She said they found her brother in the river. They had him with a whole bunch of rocks, try to make him go down into the river. Crazy. Horrible. I don't know how it works because a lot of the people, if you notice, a lot of the people that are in real political positions, they got family members that have been killed. They've been murdered. Why? That's weird to me. That's weird. And another thing, right? So you don't value money over your family, right? So I remember one time my son was acting up in school and he seemed like he needed me to be more involved, you know? And I made the decision to take off from my job. My job that I was working at the time, they gave you the ability to, another person playing music here. That's something? Oh, homeless person sleeping. I don't see no time though. What was I talking about? Microwave mentality, ES extremely. What's EVM mean? Microwave, what's that? What's EMVM? So my job gave you an opportunity to be off for 3 months, but it's unpaid, right? So you got an opportunity to go on a leave that's unpaid and then return back after that time. You have to put in the paperwork. And if you got approved, you can do that. So that's all I needed so you can finish your school. So that's what I did. And one of my supervisors, I didn't have to go through my supervisor. I was working at a residence and I had to go through HR to get that kind of approval for the leave. But my supervisor, of course, was notified upon the approval of that. And she was like, I would never let her, she didn't have no children. Okay, keep that in mind. She was like, I would never stop my bag for my child. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I said, number one, you don't have a child. I take care of my nieces and nephew. I would never do that. And I said, and that's you, but that's not me. And she was like, don't think you can come back to the residence or whatever. It's not her decision. HR put me wherever the vacancy is. She didn't bring me in the first place. That's what sometimes you gotta keep. Sometimes people be talking about, they be talking like they got more power than they have, and you gotta stay in reality because she didn't put me there. HR put me there. That's how HR works. Okay, so from my experience, you submit your resume, HR will review it, and if you qualify, HR puts you where their need is. And the people have to deal with acclimating you. Hey, Brownsburg. What? residents. Yeah, you know, I used to be a DSP, and I worked with developmentally disabled people, and I almost made it 5 years, but during the time of me almost reaching 5 years, we hit the pandemic. I was identified as a essential worker. They were trying to make me take something I didn't want to take. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not sick. I only take medicine when I'm sick. And I said, and I'm definitely not taking something experimental. I've seen too many things. So I identified as an anti-vaxxer. I wanted religious exemption. And my job said that they could not accommodate me on that, but I was able to get the pandemic unemployment. You understand? Because I lost my job due to the pandemic, and they had the unemployment for that. If you lost your job due to the pandemic, you could get that unemployment. They had a special unemployment for that, because people was losing their jobs. It was crazy, especially people that was in positions that they didn't consider to be essential. So my job was identified as essential. They wanted me to be in all the jobs, because I had went for this job for NYCHA to notify people about a rental assistance program, and they wanted me to take the shot for that. I didn't understand that. And they said, oh, you have to take the shot. At least take one of them. I can advocate for you if you take one of them. I said, for door knocking and information. And then they started getting more aggressive. And then I went for a workshop, a training that was virtual. And they said that I had to submit my documentation that I had taken this shot for a virtual class. A class. I'm not getting, that's not something I get paid for. I don't get paid for it. And they wanted me to submit virtually that I had the shot. Unbelievable. And they said, I reached out to their headquarters asking them what's going on here. And they said that the funding that they was getting required, that was one of the funding requirements. That's why I don't got no time for the, you know, it just goes around, it just goes back to people who just lying. And people lie. Then you can't get an understanding of why things go the way that they go. And I don't have to argue with a person back and forth about being out of work since the pandemic, because I know my experience and what people told me. I got a religious exemption. Okay? I got a religious exemption. And the place said, oh, we can't accommodate you. We can't accommodate you. I'm so sorry. We don't have a work environment that allows us to allow you to work among people and possibly infect them. Okay. Okay. But you can volunteer though. Ha! See how the system is? Or you can volunteer, but you can't get on payroll? Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. Just like as an essential worker, you was working, busting your ass without any kind of shots, and you was fine. And then all of a sudden, when they created that shot, then you can't. Then you're not fine. Then you got to take it now. That's bullshit. I don't believe in giving medication to people that's not sick. Medication is for sick people to make them well, not to experiment and make them sick. People was dying from that shot. So I don't care. So you gamble with that. And that's how I started veering off into meeting communists because, breaking away from a system. You understand? And when you start breaking away, you're anti-government, anti-this or whatever. They're in those spaces and they trying to pull you out, talking about Cuba and all this stuff. We got to go to Cuba. I'm like, go to Cuba? No, I don't want to go to Cuba. Oh, we got to go to Cuba. I was like, what's going on here? You believe in this, man? That's how I met some people. And they are anti-government. That's how you meet. That's how I met. I'll talk for myself. That's how I met advocates with the criminal justice reform, because they are blocked out of getting jobs. They're not in the system. They are blocking them from being in the system. So when you're not in the system, you meet formerly incarcerated people that they're trying to maneuver outside of the system, because they got a criminal background, and the system blocks them, trying to keep them out of the workforce. So when you're not in the workforce, still trying to make it, you meet sectors of people who are not for the system. And people like that are your communists, your socialists. You gotta be real careful. Hey, Chonda, man, how you doing? It's good to see you. All of that happens because you trying to survive, and you trying to survive outside of the system. And then you fall into this pool of people that are not in the system. But if you don't really understand and ask questions and don't see it, don't see it as normal, right? So the people start trying to normalize things. And you gotta watch the teachings that they start. So look, this is how they start doing it. They start having real aggressive, violent recommendations on how to get people to do what they need you to do. And it's like, wait a minute, that's illegal. Oh my God. What? Oh, this is how we gonna do it. Be like, I can't be in this. You know what? I'm hungry. Y'all don't have any food in the meat, and let me go and get out. See, you don't get out. Telling them you ain't coming back. You just be casual. That's how you start. See, when you out of the system, right? Okay, let me tell you some things. What I've learned, because I'm post-pandemic, right? So, one of the things right away to know you getting further and further away from the system is people don't go by their name anymore. You Pookie, you Ray Ray, Diamond, everybody Diamond, Diamond, Spade, this, that. Nobody, you don't got the name no more. Go by names. Empress, the God. You getting further and further away from norms of society, right? And you start, if you don't push yourself, if you don't put yourself to understand the system, like I told you, I went to this meeting and the guy said, you're not gonna be able to do nothing if you don't got an iPhone. I said, what? No. He's talking about a certain level. And just like if you listen to Culture Invasion podcast, he tries to put out that warning about AI and how you need to know, take this training, take that training, and find it, but we're not telling you where the training is. But he's trying to tell you certain things, right? Okay. When I was working, I think that's so cool. When I was working and I was in the workforce, right? That's so futuristic to me. When I was in the workforce, one time I was in the workforce, I went to this meeting in Midtown. I was with Office of Mental Health. They had this big citywide meeting. And in that meeting, they said that everybody's gonna have to have their high school diploma. Everybody. And we're gonna have to do everything electronically on your email. So make sure you get your email and your GED because everybody's gonna have to have it. And the people was like, I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't have to do that. And she said, listen to me. I'm telling you something. Everybody's gonna have to have that. So get it now. Okay? But there was people that didn't believe that. See, because I graduated from high school. That wasn't an issue for me. But I was amongst people that obviously everybody didn't have their high school diploma. People didn't have high school and GED. They was just advocates. And so word went out that they was gonna have to do that. And there was a lot of programming out that was for helping you get your GED. But one of my friend's mother, she took the test 3 times and couldn't pass. She didn't pass it, so she just gave up. She was like, I don't need it. But then she couldn't work in that same. She lost the job too. That was, I started seeing people out of the workforce. Or should I say not the workforce, out of the system. Okay? She couldn't get in the system because she didn't have all of the documentation required. Okay? To operate whatever this contract is requiring. So, what time is it? Oh, where's Rudy? You know the time. Anyway, so, before you know it, a lot of people that was in that, that, working with me and stuff, got blocked out of that job. Okay? It's called family support specialist. When I was in family support specialist and I held that title, during that time, I was in it they started transitioning the requirements under OMH, that's Office of Mental Health, and required that everybody had to have high school or GED, regardless of them being there, being it, and regardless of the time they put in, all the efforts that they made, they didn't care. The work, the time they put in, it didn't matter. They had to have that credentials. The time came for that deadline. Whoever couldn't submit those documentations lost their job. And then they had got a new group in. And that group, as I was continuing that position, that group started a new credential saying that you needed to have an associate's degree. And they started wanting you to have human services and all this kind of stuff. Human services background or whatever. And that's where I draw the line, because I don't have college. I don't have associate, none of that. So in that position, they said they wanted you to have at least 60 credits, right? But not just any kind of credits. They wanted you to have it in human services or whatever, because I was in what was I was doing before? Liberal arts. And so they was like, no, liberal arts, it's not gonna cut it. And I was like, forget it then. I said, what kind of nonsense is this? See, that's where I drew the line. See, I didn't care about what I already had. So when they talking about high school diplomas, they already had it, who cares? But when they changed it, they keep bringing it higher. Oh, you gotta have your associate's degree. Gotta be in human services or whatever. Then I stayed in the position, but then they started talking about how they wanted you to have certain credentialing, and they wanted you to have your KSAC and whatever. And I was like, what's a KSAC? But that's why I had to learn about it. But I was like, I'm not dealing with anybody with drug addiction, but I didn't understand that some people, they do have it under the mental health. So anyway, whoever was up there in the head's position, they was coming up with all kind of damn credentialing. And I don't know why somebody was getting on the nerves. So a lot of times when it comes to the advocates that trying to push new legislation, they get wild because they're uneducated and they want to be violent. They pull with people who don't have their high school diploma, they don't have college. It's all kind of stuff. They have been formerly incarcerated, so they have a criminal background, all kind of stuff that you can avoid if you get your degree. I don't know. Listen, I've been to several college, what do you call it? You know, like the college open houses or whatever. And I was interested in Bodiqua College because Bodiqua College had a program that I wanted that was accelerated, but it's a private college, so it's like, you know, it's better if you get with a CUNY or a SUNY. So that's why I was going over to Hostos, because I kind of like Hostos campus. So I've been in several events and stuff at Hostos. I've been trying to, you know, act like I want to be at Hostos, but oh my God, when I went to Hostos, they were saying that they put everything on the computer and they couldn't see my credits from Kingsborough, because I had went to Kingsborough and I got 30 credits. They said they couldn't, Hostos said they couldn't see my 30 credits. That I have to go down there and get my transcript. But you got to pay for your transcript. Your transcript is not free. You have to pay for your transcript. So they said that all the transcripts is available online from 2000 or something, which I was I wasn't in school in 2000. I was in school like 96 to 98 or whatever. Anyway, I was saying, what exactly do I need? Because when you get your transcript, you got to have the address. You don't get a physical transcript. You got to send the transcript directly to whoever. I just want to be bothered. As a job, they required my transcript. I had to do 28-year background check and had to send my transcript for a job that I had. 28-year background check. Oh God, I had to put your address, all of that stuff. Okay? And had to take blood tests. It was crazy. But I got that job. A good job. Oh. So anyway, back to what I was saying originally, which was how talking about this character from this movie that was just going through the flow of remembering him being employed, but you're still getting it outdated because you're really not in the workforce. You're really not.
No, I haven't.
But you keep him busy. And maybe you are engaged in, I don't know. I don't know if you're really valuable volunteering. Because I don't know if they consider you what they consider the people that are working. You can't, because we don't pay taxes. We don't pay taxes. We don't feed into taxes. You're not working. Oh. Say, because you're making me think of stuff. No, it's not y'all. It was Culture Invasion Podcast. I'm telling you, so he did that video he did. I said I found parallels with the character he was talking about. Because that's what I do. Because why look like you're not employed? See? Do I look like I'm not employed? Do I look like I'm not in the workforce? Why look like that? If you look like a bum, you're not gonna get nowhere. You gotta try to keep some kind of thing. That's what they do. A lot of those programs, they dress them up, they keep their hair cut, and they just toss them out in the street. They're not doing nothing else. They just let them be presentable amongst the public so they blend in. That's why they try to tell you how to ask questions, right? And a lot of times, somebody's in the workforce based on the way that they purchase something, right? Like for me, there's no way I'm gonna maintain a membership to Costco's at $60 and up if I don't have no job, and I can't even continue. I can't maintain making purchases there. So why would I keep that? So the whole DEI and Costco's conversation wasn't for an unemployed person. And because I had memberships because I was working, I had memberships with Costco's and BJ's. I knew that the gift card doesn't make, it's not enough if we don't have membership. Now, yes, you can finagle stupidness fronting harder, right? So we can learn how to front more by getting with somebody that either purchase you so you can get sponsors. So I be fronting so hard. Like you deal with, what are you doing? Like I be fronting so hard. I get people to sponsor me because a lot of people don't have no problem giving you $25 or $25 membership, right? Could you what you want? I would like you to sponsor my membership. Sponsor your membership where? For National Action Network. How much is it? $25? Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. That's a good, it's civil. Yeah, I like that. A lot of people, they don't mind sponsoring you with stuff. And sent on trips. But you're not in the workforce. You're a sponsor. That's ridiculous. Anyway, they got a picture of, let me stop. What time is it? Tired of walking. Oh, where's the where is the the ticket thing? I need to know the time. I get sponsored to a lot of things. I say it. But you know, some people, they don't ask for that. They don't ask to be sponsored. I ask that the fascist Trump regime must go. Where is the flyers for the people who's running? I don't know what time it is. I'm tired of walking. I'm pushing through. So I got on the scale. I weighed in at 328. And I decided to weigh myself because I was having the most hardest time going up the stairs. And I just was like, this is crazy. Like, what is going on here? Like, you got so many stairs in the subway. I can't not do stairs. I have to address this issue. So I said, let me see how much I weigh. Because I said, my lower back is hurting. This is crazy. Okay. 1956. I get on the scale. It comes up 328. How much do you weigh? You don't like what it said? Get on it 3 times. You're going to get your real weight. You get on it 3 times. Oh, yeah? Okay, get off. Get back on. It said the same exact thing. I get off, get back on. You get on it 3 times? What did it say? I said it said the same thing. What's that? 328. So then you 328. You 328 pounds. Now you know. I said, nah, that can't be right. Why is not right? I'm hungry. I don't need a bunch of donuts.
Can you have a small orange juice, please? And give me one.
Sammy, CC could have stopped for applications for, tells us there's 0 jobs since the pandemic. I didn't say there was 0 jobs since the pandemic. I said I've been out of work since the pandemic. What are you trying to argue about? What is this person just trying to argue about? Like, you come in here just to argue? You're such a troll. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not asking you to give me anything on my Cash App. Hi, Catherine, friends. I'm telling you, that your girl ain't been working at no job for 5 years. That's what you say. All I said is I've been out of the workforce. I say I volunteer. You're not listening. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you, I noticed being out of the workforce, you get to meet a lot of incarcerated, formerly incarcerated people because they ain't been working. They was in jail. And if a person was wondering, how did you get wrapped up with all these organizations with formerly incarcerated people? It's because I've been out of work. And they be at the meetings because they ain't working. They can't get a job because the jobs that people don't want to take them. I want something. What do I want? I want
Okay, I get it. That's 6:30.
I want an egg and cheese. I want an egg and cheese. Or do I want a raisin bagel? He got eggs. How much is it gonna cost? Maybe I should just get a coffee. I miss when things were cheaper. And my dollars could go a long way. I just imagining that this is gonna be something I can't afford. What I really want. How much is a raisin bagel? Toasted raisin bagel with cream cheese?
It's $2.50, but I don't toast them.
You don't toast. You just put no toasting. But you make eggs? No. Oh, your thing not on. You just got eggs there. Oh, they're hard boiled. Okay, thank you. Oh, I was drawn to the eggs, but those are just hard boiled. I don't really like just eat hard boiled eggs. And I don't like bagels that's not toasted. I don't. That's from eating those chips and drinking those soda in bed. Yes, I know. But homebook, you know what's like? The person trying to trigger me. Like I said, if I'm not out here in the community, like I'm doing stuff for people, and then the credentialing always tries to throw me out. Like they're not trying to give me a pass. And I know they can give me a pass because I seen people that I know get passes, but they have a crooked mentality. You understand? That give me no love because I'm not a puppet. You know what I'm saying? And I like to be a broom that sweeps clean. Not sweeping shit under the rug. We throwing the shit out. So these people be getting jobs. They just phony as hell, lying every day. Did you make the call? They know they didn't make that call. They fronting. You give me the assignment, I'm gonna get the assignment. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do my best to get it done. And if it doesn't get done, I have the explanation to why it didn't get done on my watch. Okay? People all the time. They gave them a job because they up there willing to have sex with whoever. I'm not gonna do that. And then they get disease. We got a lot of people, they got AIDS. But they got money. So they're like, but I got money though. You gotta take mad medication too. Like, what's going on here? These people are crazy. I don't got no time for it. It's not for me. But I know one thing. I'm gonna get in your business to find out. Like, why is it different for you than me? Oh, you had sex with who? You had sex with who? Oh my God, it's disgusting. So people doing that stuff all the time. All the way to that police officer was getting all that overtime. Once she didn't want to have sex with that dude no more, then it was hell broke loose. But then you found out the bullshit that was going on. How you get all that overtime? Because she was fucking him. Say, wow, fucking get you like that? I will never know. I said, nah, I don't care. I won't be finding that out. You got a picture of her bald-headed. I don't even know if people be watching these news. These people, they be like, how you got all that overtime? They go on all these vacations and everything. You be like, oh, we got the same job? Nah, you ain't got the same job, baby. He be getting blowjobs and stuff. You ain't got the same job. No, she's doing a little extra. You ain't got the same job. Then you ain't in the same position. You ain't doing the same positions. You know what I'm saying? I be looking at it, be laughing. And they be having these kids. Oh my God. They be trying to break it. Oh, look at my designer outfit my kid got on. The lady was asking me the other day, she was like, do Eric Adams have a girlfriend? I said, Eric Adams? You talking about the mayor? Mayor Eric Adams? What? Do Mayor Eric Adams have a girlfriend? I don't never see him with no girl. Mayor Adams, he good looking. He got it. That's laughing. That was just so funny to me. What's this? Town hall meeting. Parents, elected officials meeting. Are they trying to close the school again? They're so annoying. I always say this school pairs with St. Aloysius. And I had never been to St. Aloysius, but my son was going to summer program there. Well, St. Aloysius uses like different schools to do their summer program. So they would be in the Bronx or whatever. So my son we go to the Bronx, so he goes to summer program. And whew, I didn't eat nothing. I gotta get something to eat. Anyway, I went to St. Aloysius because that's where Congressman Rangel body is being showed. Today he's supposed to be at City Hall, but they didn't have the times. They didn't want to chance it because they had the time. Are they trying to let me cross? I don't understand. So I went to St. Aloysius so I could see y'all. You know, give my last regards to Congressman Rangel, who I do believe original TA president I had love. See, I went to the I spent all my life preparing the case. It will include the Caribbean Basin Initiative, the African Growth and Opportunity Bill, Empowerment Zones, the Rangel Low Income Housing Credits, among so many other things, and congressional record. And if St. Pete is not overly impressed with my legislative record, then I'll just have to tell him that I did the best I could. Congressman Charles B. Rangel. So he's being laid to rest Well, I don't know where he's being laid to rest. His viewing is at City Hall now, and then his funeral will be at Saint Patrick's Cathedral. Oh my goodness, that's so fancy. I would like to go to that, but I don't really like going to funerals. I don't even that much care going to the viewing, but this viewing was better than Bill Perkins viewing. I went to Bill Perkins viewing and they had him with a permanent smile on his face, and I didn't like it at all. I thought that was creepy. They had him with his hands crossed, with his hat on, with a smile. And I was like, oh my goodness, I done seen too much. I said, no. Whose idea was this? Just like I went to this funeral, this lady, I would go to her house, take my son over to her house. She was a senior, very nice. Her daughter worked for an elected official. Anyway, and her daughter, she got into this fight with a police officer. He punched her in the face. It was all on the news. It was crazy. Anyway, her daughter's so ghetto. But she worked for elected official. They got the hook up. I ain't worrying about it. I ain't worrying about who's bending over and who's on their knees. I just know it's not me. You don't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about seeing me with no politician and think there's going to be any scandal with me. You don't got to worry. You ain't got to worry about that. All I can tell you is that I went to Bill Perkins, Senator Bill Perkins, viewing of his body, and I thought it was creepy. Okay, and then like it almost was like people was kind of fighting over the program at the repast. He had this beautiful program. No, it was so the funeral, they get they had this catalog all in color kind of, program book. And people kind of fighting over that book. They trying to get more than one. People who not there couldn't make it and stuff. Crazy. I couldn't even see it. I couldn't even get to see it. So I was tempted, yes, to want to get more than one card for Wrangell, but I already know that's not right. So I don't want to do anything that's crazy. You understand? Because you going to somebody famous, and then people do little crazy stuff. People be fighting over programs because they want to get more than one. Why? Anyway, I don't want to feed into it. Okay? Because what are we doing? The person is dead. What are we doing? What are we doing? People like the program for Bill Perkins. Some people had bunches of them. What? I left it alone. Hey, I went to the repast. The repast is at Harlem Tavern. Like everybody was at the repast. Listen, people that I thought was dead was at the repast. Horrible. I said, I thought she was dead. I kid you not. I went to the repast. I I was like seeing people, man, oh, they was there at that repast. I got on the line for food. I saw so many people I knew and everything. I got on the line. There was no food. By the time I got to the food, so many people was there, but I guess it was so nosy. Like, I'm at the repast. We at Harlem Tavern. I come in and it's like, you see all these people, you doing rounds instead of being on the line to get food. Seeing people at the bar, seeing people I knew at the bar, people hugging me and everything. I said, what? Want to take pictures of the repast? Yeah. Anyway, and I was seeing people that I thought was dead, and I couldn't keep it to myself. I said, oh my God, I thought she was dead. They be like, me too. Horrible. Woo, it was bad. Let me tell you something. I'm going to leave it alone. But I had a good time at the Bill Perkins repast. Harlem Tavern. I don't think I had ever been to Harlem Tavern. I was at Harlem Tavern for that because, see, I don't get, listen, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it 100. Harlem nonsense, okay? So, at the African American Day Parade, okay, they always have a breakfast. And they have that breakfast at Harlem Tavern. Now, last year, they was trying to act like, because it's like the place you want to be, okay? You want to be at the breakfast on the day of the African American Day Parade. It's like the place to be. And there were so many people there last year that they were trying to act like the venue is not big enough. Oh, we need a bigger venue. We've outgrown the Harlem Tavern. But I had gotten invited to the breakfast and then got uninvited. This was like, what? They was like, oh, could you come to the Harlem Tavern and assist with like helping with the food or whatever, like being a volunteer server or whatever. And then all of a sudden they said, oh, we don't need any additional servers. Well, I couldn't be a guest. But anyway, I had gotten invited and then I got uninvited. So I never been there, but there's stuff that's going on at the Harlem Tavern. So I got to go to the Harlem Tavern for the repast of Bill Perkins. That's how I got in the Harlem Tavern. Okay, not because of the breakfast that they host for the African American Day parades. Okay, they do that every year. And I don't know what they're gonna do this year. But I know that they were saying last year that the venue's not big enough because so many people want to be there. And I know because everybody was talking about it, it's the talk. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. Everybody want to be there. You have all the famous people, the people that's going to be celebrated at the parade. And I got so excited about the invitation. But obviously the person that invited me, they didn't have the pull. They was just getting themselves in trouble because and I know about invitations. Like, I want to be invited. We get a real invitation. Stop playing. I want to sit at the table and eat. Let me tell you something. I want to have a table with no plate. You get there, you sit down, but there's no more food. No. Right here. Place to be. Everybody want to be the Harlem Tavern. Everyday breakfast. See all the people. And Bill Perkins, I heard he said, Senator Bill Perkins, they have a nice Christmas party, or they a Christmas party. And this senior had told me that he gets invited to Bill Perkins' Christmas party that they host at the house every year. And I was like, at his house, I was like, please, I don't need to go. But he was talking like his wife died and he would like to go with a guest. He could bring a guest or whatever. And I was like, what's this old man talking about? He said, you know, me and my wife, my late wife, we'd always travel together. And I really don't want to travel alone. I was listening to him work up his foolishness. He was like 40 years older than me. He's crazy. You know, some people are nuts. Oh, I said my condolences about the loss of your wife. Yeah, and that was the last time I came to see him. I said, this guy, like younger than your daughter. Crazy. Oh, that's what I was saying. They be talking about, oh, we gotta work with the youth. No, they be trying to get 12-year-olds. They 80. They be grooming. They be trying to groom. I was like, this is hilarious. Oh God. I said, you know, I don't need to go nowhere that bad. They said never be too hungry. Mm-mm. I was always meeting people that allegedly got political, and then like you know like now, oh my God, it's so funny. So lady, she was like, oh, Eric Adams, Mayor Eric Adams, and I was like, I don't know nothing about it. I said, I think he got several properties though. I said, man with several properties usually got several women. I don't never see him with no woman. I said, that don't mean he ain't got no woman. That's because you don't see him with one. Get out of here. I said, people so messy. They be talking that stuff, and they be trying to do some craziness. They be trying. I gotta take this off. Oh. Inviting you, uninviting you. Uninvited? You uninvited? Oh. I don't even hold the stuff. I don't even hold stuff no more. In snow, I know a lot of people. out of the way. I just stay out of the nonsense. Their little private home invitations. Getting some mess doing that. We'll invite you to their house. But they don't want you to have nobody else with you. Oh, I need to have my crew. Don't, the invitation is just for you. I said, well, then I'm not going. Oh well. What time is it? Why the girl working out with these men? So I like to look at the men work out. I do. And the girl, she said, I gotta work out. I gotta lose 30 pounds. See, I don't be losing no weight because I be doing bullshit workouts. I get on the look. I get over the pole. I'm supposed to be lifting myself up with the pole. I get over the pole and just lean over, turn around. Is my ass big? Do I got a big ass? Is it too big? Talking nonsense. Is my ass too big? They won't answer me. I gotta work out. This is ridiculous. I gotta do a real workout. Let's see. A workout. I'm gonna take y'all with me. Don't worry. Y'all know I like to do my fitness. No, I can't do it. What am I talking about? That's how I get in trouble. That's how I get in trouble. See, I be doing them fitness videos. Then he be like, what's going on? What are you doing? What am I doing? I'm working out. You're not working out. Being naughty. I need to stop being naughty. Hate myself. Stop being naughty. I'm gonna stop being naughty. Can y'all read my the shirts? Can you read the names of the shirt? They're too far. Put it down, Bronx. The Bronx. Not a minute in the Bronx. Majority of the men I date from the Bronx. Live in the Bronx. I'm messing. Let me stop. I'm not naughty. I should get something to snack on. No. I'm about to change my shirt. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm gonna change it. Let me behave. Bye.